Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I'm the City Witch. So today we're going to be reviewing this brand new Egyptian tarot deck that came in one of my Witch's Moon subscription boxes. So this year Witch's Moon have been doing mythological boxes where they're taking a look at different mythologies. So we've had a box on Norse mythology, the Celtic tree calendar, and the most recent one for August was an Egyptian themed box where we got lots of lovely trinkets and things in it that were all Egyptian themed. And this tarot deck was one of them. So I don't actually have an Egyptian themed deck in my collection, so I thought it might be nice to do an unboxing video of this deck and take a look at all the artwork inside and do a full unboxing. If I'd have unboxed this on the Witch's Moon unboxing video, it would have been a very, very long video. So it's probably better that I'm doing this separate. So this is, as I say, an Egyptian themed deck. Now, when I looked this up, because I had to, because I wasn't sure if that was the author or the artist, and then it says art by this person here, Havino or Havano, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or not. However, when I looked it up on Amazon, it's actually listed as Julia F. Masanglia, which is this person here, as the illustrator, and somebody called Jamie Elford is actually the author. So I don't know if that's correct information, but that's what Amazon have it down as. This deck is currently retailing for about £20 in English money. And as you can see, there are various different languages that you can get this deck in. The box is a fairly generic old school tarot box, typical just of a cardboard design, so nothing special or spectacular about it. The artwork is pretty from what I can see so far. Yeah, fairly pretty. So let's open it up and take a little look. So all I've done is take off the cellophane off this deck. I haven't done anything else. So we're going to be opening this up and having a look together. So we get one of these generic paper guidebooks. So this is typical of the original tarots we used to get. So it's telling you you have information in English, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. So it says the images of this deck blend the artistic style of art, Novorno, I still don't think I'm saying that right, movement, characterized by ornamental designs and patterns, and it incorporates plants and flowers with the ancient Egyptian gods and culture. Each card tells a story, one left for you to decode. Work with each card of the deck by itself and listen to the character's voice in each picture to guide you to its meaning. Let their wisdom help you craft new personal definitions. If you do this, this book suggests where to start to understand the cards and their meanings. And then it goes into that. And it doesn't give you any pictures or anything. It's just a full black and white paper guidebook. I don't think this gives any spreads or anything. I'll just take a quick look. Nope, no using any spreads with this, so you'll just have to choose your own spreads, guys. So I'll pop that to one side. We have a typical card here from the publisher. So it says there is Facebook and Instagram information if you want to go ahead and check that out, guys. So there we go. And on that side. So I'll pop that to one side. And this is the deck. So it's a very typical tarot style size, and it's got this really, really pretty design on the back of some Egyptian scarabs, quite colourful. The cardstock is very typical of a tarot. As you can see as I'm flicking it, it's very, very, very flexible, very thin. It's also glossy, which you can see there on the camera, with a nice kind of matte smooth finish when you're rubbing the card stock. It's got this white border around it as well, but you know me, the pattern on the back is very generic, which means I cannot tell which way around the card is, which is something I prefer on my decks personally. The edging is all plain white and they fit quite comfortably into my hand. They're also very slippery, which means shuffling is going to be really easy, but you're probably going to drop them as well because of the slipperiness. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we have a generic card there, so I'm going to move that to one side, and I'm going to show you each card one at a time so you can take a good look. So it looks like the cards are not named. So you're going to have to know your tarot really well. So obviously this one is the Fool. She's about to step off a cliff. Usually we see a dog in this image, but they've gone with a cat with the Egyptian theme, which is fine. Very colourful, very sunny, very vibrant card. But as I say, 0. So you are going to have to know your tarot to know which card is which. Some of them will be obvious, like, you know, the tarot card typically is some kind of building or structure being struck by lightning. That one will be obvious to see. This one's fairly clear as well, because we know in the Fool card, you know, the Fool often isn't looking where they're going, but they're about to step off into danger. And usually there's, you know, a dog in the image, but they've gone with a cat. So we know this one's going to be the Fool. So there we go. So that one is the first card. Then we have the Magician. It's got all of the magical tools there, making it very clear that this is the Magician. The High Priestess. This one you can tell is the High Priestess because we've got the black and the white pillars in it. So far, the artwork's quite pretty, I will say that. So this one will be the Empress. And then we have the Emperor. Oh, I like the Lover's card. That's quite pretty, isn't it? Got the Chariot there. That's a very sexual card, isn't it? The two Sphinxes that are rather naked. Strength. Obviously, we can tell that's strength because of the lion in the image. This one might be the Hermit on a lone journey with his cloak. With the Wheel of Fortune, which they've chose the Eye of Ra, which is interesting. This almost could be the World card though, because of the animals. If they'd have had another animal on it, I might have been in doubt and might think, is that the World? Even though it shouldn't be yet the World card, because the World card would be the last card. However, because of the way that's laid out, that almost looks like the World card. However, it's definitely the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, Justice. Here we have the Hangman, obviously. This must be the Death card, and they've gone with Anubis, who is the god of death, so that makes sense. We're seeing somebody who's passed on here, and then the crying family. So it's quite a sad scene, actually, for death. Usually death is all about closing of one chapter and then moving on to another chapter, you know, finally letting go of something and releasing something. This card comes across as quite negative to me, with the death scene and the crying upset family and the begging of Anubis. That is a very dark omen to me in this deck. Okay, this one might be Temperance. And then we have the Devil. And the Tower, which they've gone with a Egyptian pyramid being struck by lightning for this one, and two people falling to their doom. So that's again quite a dark omenish card. The Star card. It's quite pretty and unusual, I think, for a star card. Okay, so I'm assuming that this one is the Moon, although I wasn't sure because that actually looks like a sun to me rather than a moon. And also usually we see dogs or wolves. Here we're seeing two baboons, which is interesting, and a snake as well. Then we have our Sun card, and again we're seeing Horus there in the sky, in the sun. It's quite a nice image. It's quite a positive looking card. This one would be Judgment. And then we've got the World. So the animals they've gone for on the World card is a hawk, a crocodile, I think that's a heron of some kind, and then we have a scarab beetle. I find it interesting in this image though that this kind of looks like a mirror, and it's cracked and crumbling and falling away. And also the person in the middle almost looks mummified. That's kind of not the image I would expect for a world card, because the world card is supposed to be the completion of the fool's journey. It's supposed to be they've experienced everything, they're a well-rounded individual, and they should have mastered themselves and conquered many aspects of life, and should be a well-structured, disciplined individual by this point. But this, to me, almost implies that they failed on their journey and, you know, they've gone through some kind of mortal demise. And with the cracking and that here, you know, because that does look like a mirror, it almost looks like they've kind of broken themselves in some way or broken something. So, again, not the kind of message I expect for the world card. And then we're going into our suits. So we have the Ace of Cups. It's quite a nice image. Two of Cups, which again is usually lovers. Three of Cups, which is a card of celebration and friendship. So I'm definitely getting that from these cards. These are all so far correct. Four of Cups. Looks deep in contemplation there, doesn't he? Like he's thinking things over. And then we have the Five of Cups. So, you know, the card of spilt milk and disaster and emotional turmoil, focusing on the negatives as opposed to positives. Six of Cups. It's quite a nice image as well, fruitful. So the Seven of Cups. So this one, we often see different things inside the cups. This one, they've kind of gone for some kind of monster in one cup. There's golden riches in another. There's a snake, some kind of deity or maybe prayer. There's another one with a head in it. That could be beauty, I suppose. There's buildings. And then there's a reef in another one. So this is quite unusual. Very different choices. But it does show that there are choices and options. The Eight of Cups. Here we see someone going on a long journey. So often this is about leaving something behind and choosing to move forward. Oh, I also will say there, it looks almost like the sun and moon are eclipsing each other, which is very interesting. Okay, so we're now on the Nine of Cups. He looks like quite an important man, doesn't he? Oh, the Ten of Cups, that's beautiful. Family. So this is kind of like your fairy tale ending, the manifestation of your hopes and dreams. It's usually a really positive card of family and commitment, of a relationship. Can also denote marriage. So that's quite a pretty nice, happy card, I think. And then this is our Page of Cups. And interestingly, we have a symbol now instead of a number. So or is it a symbol? Oh, it's almost like a hat, actually. Yeah, it looks like a hat. So looks like our court cards, again, I'm not going to say king, queen, knight, page. We're going to get these different symbols here to represent them. So for the knight, we have a horse's head. It's quite a nice one. This knight's a lover, not a fighter. This is like a slow and steady, nice, go with the flow kind of card. Then we have our Queen of Cups here. Very regal, sat by the Nile, very beautiful. Then we have our King. Very nice. He's more out in the water. He's got a hippopotamus behind him there. Chomping away, very interesting. He's also not only got a cup, he's got something else in his hand there. I'm not quite sure what that is though. His feet are on a pillow, so he's definitely living the life of luxury. Then we're going into our coins. So we have the Ace of Coins. Two of Coins. Balancing the spiritual with the physical. 3 of coins. So this one is about teamwork and effort and learn to work with others. Finding the similarities rather than the differences. So collaboration. 4 of coins. This one's often about sitting on your money. Don't spend it. Keep it close to your chest, which is exactly what he's doing. He's hugging the coin to his chest. 5 of coins, the card of poverty. This is definitely the case here. I can definitely see they're being turned away. There's a sandstorm around them. Their clothes are ragging and beaten. So yeah, this is definitely showing hard times. So I'd say the minor arcana cards are showing more detail so far than the major arcana. Here we have the 6 of coins. And the 7 of coins. So, you know, hard work and labour, what you put into something is what you're going to get out of it. We've got the 8 of coins. You know, this is about your skill, dedication, determination. 9 of coins. This is quite a fruitful card, isn't it? She looks ready to get that harvest off the trees, and you can see all the grapes on the trees there. So it's showing fruitfulness, it's showing abundance, it's showing happiness. And then we go into our 10 of coins. So again, this is another card that can denote family. It shows, you know, prosperity. It's quite a good card, isn't it? It's a couple of dogs in that image. There's food, there's coins, there's luxury. So this is definitely a happy card. And then we have our page of coins. And our knight of coins. Here we have our queen of coins. She's beautiful, isn't she? Queens are quite lovely in this deck. Then we have our king. Ooh, surrounded by bulls. That's interesting. Maybe that's for fertility, vibrancy, sexual energy. Okay, so I don't know if they're calling these wands or staffs, but I'm going to go with staffs or maybe rods because it kind of looks like a rod or a staff rather than a wand. So we have our one of rods or staffs, whichever one you want to choose. Those definitely look like staffs. So 2 of staffs, he's holding the world in his palm of his hand. Again, he looks surrounded by luxury. We have our 3 of staffs. Here he's contemplating travel, adventure, journey, looking to new horizons, spreading his wings. 4 of staffs. This is often about stability, you know, everything being stable and happy, a time of fruitfulness. Again, this is quite a positive card usually. It's another one that can denote marriage in the right setting with the right cards. 5 of staffs, here we have conflict, we have people stepping on each other, battling to get to the top. This is definitely quite a competitive card. And then we have the 6 of staffs, someone very important in charge. 7 of staffs, backed up in a corner, fighting a losing battle, last man standing kind of energy. The 8 of staffs, this is showing an adventure and a journey as well. That's interesting. This is usually about movement, this one. Often, sometimes it can represent looking at things from new heights or a new perspective as well. We've got the 9 of staffs, and he's very beaten up, this character, and that's true because that is usually you've lost in some way, things are falling apart, you know, you've made poor decisions and it's led you to where you are today and you literally won't let it go. And then we have the 10 of staffs here. So this is about burden, carrying more physical burden than what you can cope with. Other people putting their burdens upon you, giving you more and more to do. And it's back-breaking hard work. And there's a struggle in this one. And then we've got our page of staffs. And our knight. Ooh, that's quite a nice image. I like the horse rearing up there. And it looks a little bit different to all the others as well. Like it's ready for action. It's got more energy. So we're seeing fast-paced movement there, which is good. Wow, that's a beautiful queen. Look at all the animals. We've got lions. We've got some kind of panthers there. We've got our cat. We've got these beautiful flowers. Wow. She's a really beautiful queen. And then we have our king, who is wearing leopard print. And there's a tiny little gecko there as well. The lion in the back image there. All right, so this would be our athums or daggers or swords. Okay, so Ace of Swords. Two of Swords, she's blindfolded, very traditional image. I like that they've gone with a dusky sky with the moon. Like it's between the light and the dark. The Three of Swords, and we have three tiny little swords stabbing a heart. We see sorrow, there's rain. This is definitely a very sad, sad card. Typical image for the tarot. Then we have the fours, so the Four of Swords. I'm not sure what they're trying to display here in this one, what they're trying to say. Because we've got this sarcophagus lying down with somebody gripping the sword on top of it. And then you've got the three sort of slaves in the background holding a sword. I'm referring to them as slaves because I think back then in Egypt they would have been slaves, or maybe servants is a better word. But they definitely look like they are lower class, and whoever this person is more important in some way. And they're guarding whoever is in here, protecting it. We've got the Five of Swords here. Swords on the ground, one at his waist, one each in each hand. Usually, again, that's a card of conflict, but I don't see so much conflict in that. More dictatorship, maybe. I'm in charge, leadership material. We have the Six of Swords here. Turbulent waters, navigating them, choosing what direction to go in. And then we've got the Seven of Swords. So this one's usually a bandit fleeing in the night. So either rescuing or liberating something or stealing something. Then we have our Eight of Swords. So we see our typical image of somebody bound up. This is quite an aggressive scene. You need rescuing. There's a lot going on. Okay, so we have our Nine of Swords. So this is usually you've made your bed, lie in it kind of energy. Usually we see the swords underneath the bed and the person lying on top of them. So it's like uncomfortable. This looks more like nightmares, living a nightmare. Ten of Swords, stabbed in the back, betrayal. And then we have our Page, who is facing us, interestingly enough, walking towards us in an aggressive manner, I might add, as well. This Page certainly knows what he wants and how he's going to get it. Then we have our Knight, and we have action. The horse is ready to go. It is stampeding. So that's definitely the correct sort of image for the Knight of Swords. And then we have our Queen, and she is looking to new horizons. We're seeing lots of birds in this image. Also, her cloak, I'm assuming it's cloak, kind of looks like water, like it's becoming water, which is interesting. She's also quite naked, quite exposed. And then we have our king, who actually looks like he's wearing armor. And again, he's facing us head on in almost a threatening manner as well, with the way he's holding the dagger or the sword. And that is our last card. Very interesting. I'm not too sure this deck's for me, if I'm honest. I will say I think the artwork is quite lovely. The use of colours is nice. All the queens were quite beautiful in my opinion. And many of the cards follow the traditional tarot. So the only thing you'd have to spend time working on and learning is, you know, which major arcana is which. And some of them are obvious, like I say, like that's going to be the Hermit. You know, we have the Wheel of Fortune there. You have the Hangman, you have the Death card. So there's certain cards which are obvious and clear, but then if you were mixing them with the tarot, so once this is shuffled, would you actually recognise them? Would you know which card it is and how to read it? So there may be a little bit of training and work to do to learn this deck. However, I think it would be a beautiful deck for somebody one day. I'm probably not going to be keeping this deck personally because it's not my cup of tea. However, I will be placing it up on probably one of my pages, maybe in a competition or or up for sale. If somebody's interested in it, let me know. But yeah, so that concludes this review. I would probably score this deck probably about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. The cardstock is a little bit on the flimsy side. Artwork is beautiful, which kind of rescues it and gives it extra points. But as I say, Major Arcana isn't really labelled. It's just numbered, which puts me off a little bit. I prefer to know straight away, and I prefer my client to know straight away what it is. I like the backing of the deck, but they are very, very slippery. I can feel them now wanting to slide very easily. I'm barely doing anything and they're slipping in my hands. So to shuffle these would be quite difficult and probably a little bit annoying. But if you want to do the fan technique to shuffle, very easy to work with, I think, for that. So yeah, for me, I'd probably score it about a 5 or a 6 out of 10. So that concludes today's review. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. And if you do like this deck, go ahead and drop me a message. If it's still available, I will let you know. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and click the bell so YouTube will tell you when my next video comes out. And if you'd like to offer like, love and support to me, you can do that either through PayPal or my Amazon wishlist, and both links are provided. If you'd like to book a tarot reading or a magical service from me, you can do that through Facebook, Instagram, X, because I nearly said Twitter, X, or via email. All the links are provided, guys. You know where to find them on the description of the video. Thank you so much for supporting me and watching till the very end. I do appreciate it. As always, take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon. Blessed be.